see what can happen with these instruments. So let's listen. Let's listen and see. Maybe should we listen to the flute first? Sure. Okay, great, great. Maybe could you just play for us first a kind of maybe the range of the instrument? Just play a scale for us, up and down, so you can hear what this instrument sounds like and what happens. Listen for the changes as she goes higher and lower. See if you can think of some words that would describe what happens to the sound as she goes higher and lower.
So I'm just going to do chromatic scale.
Great, great.
Sound sort of got a little bit airier.
Okay, so you got a little. This is definitely a wind instrument, right? It sounds a lot like breathing, and you can feel how important it is to her to be able to breathe. Very different than the piano that way, right? We actually hear the breathing in the sound, and yes, as we go higher, we get that wind sound more in the sound itself. Yeah, Thomas.
Well, it's also a lot louder and shriller as you get to the top, and like the top, the higher register is more melody instrument, whereas the lower register is kind of a harmony instrument.
Okay, okay, good. That's a good way to think about it. Does it change color from bottom to top?
Yeah.
What's the color? Anybody think of a color that describes it? Can you play your low note for us again?
Sure.
And then maybe up, C above the staff or something?
Okay, so not piercing.
Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah.
Higher notes louder, lower notes sound lesser.
Yeah, very good, very good. It's a good thing to remember, right? If you want to write really loud music for the flute, where are you going to put it, high or low?
High.
High, yeah. The higher we get, the louder it gets, right? And the lower it is, the softer it is, right? Christina works really hard to not make that so sometimes, right?
Right.
But it's so. Just easier to play louder the higher you go. Anybody think it sounds kind of dark and maybe a little haunting down in the low register? So if you're writing a piece that's kind of about that, it's a good place to write for the flute. But if you want something that's very bright and silvery sounding, maybe, that would be in the higher register. So you're going to play a piece for us, right?
Right, and actually, this piece is a good example of the way a composer can use a low register of the flute, I think. Because the peak actually stays below the C above the staff, for the most part anyway. So.
Anybody want a copy of the music? They can follow along. Yeah. This is called Syrinx.
Oh.
Like plug in C. There you go. C. Somebody writes just for a solo flute. Sorry. Okay.
And don't be scared by all those fast notes.
You can see it to the left of the score. There are numbers, right, that tell you measure numbers. So I'll softly say those numbers in case you get lost, right? So that I'll help you find your place in case you get lost along the way. All right. Got it.
the Syrinx being pursued by the demigod Pan, and she cries out, and she turns into reeds, basically, that end up becoming the Pan flute. So that's the picture, I think, of Pan flute.
So
Have y'all
shapes
seen a pan flute?
Yeah.
and shapes.
Where you play across the bamboo? Peruvian groups play them very often. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So let's try out the violin. See what the violin sounds like. Can you do the same thing for us? Maybe play from the bottom string up to high E, F or something so we can hear the color changes in your instrument. Wow. It really changes, doesn't it? From the bottom to the top? Yeah, can you play that high note for us one more time? And then play your very bottom again? Quite a change, huh? And it does hers get softer as it goes up or louder as it goes up? Which way do you think? Yeah.
Softer.
It gets softer, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah, so it's a little bit opposite of the
I
flute
still
that way.
think it's the same. It's still all soft.
It's all soft. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh, she can. I bet she can play pretty well.
Yeah.
Could you just show us pizzicato
Oh, yeah.
when you pluck?
So that's a really fun thing that the violin can do. Also, you can do great glissons, right?
Yeah.
You can slide.
We can do Colino. She's playing with the wood.
She flipped her bow over and she's playing with the wooden part of the bow now.
Which we see sometimes.
Yeah. So what are you going to play for us?
Okay, something completely different. This piece is called Cafe Music. It's written by Paul Schoenfeld, and he was really inspired by the Detroit bar scene. So he was inspired, and you'll hear a lot of ragtime, a lot of chords, and a lot of glissons. But this piece was written for violin, cello, and piano. So there might be some little spaces, and that's where the other instruments would have their solo.